Hello and welcome to the post-day wrap-up. We are here at the Campbell Street Oval. Everyone has gone home, the crowd is gone, the players are gone, and the ground is vacant. We have just seen an incredible day of cricket. You are of course watching it on Channel 8, and I am Chukka Wilson. So, let's go through this game. So, Diamond Creek were sent into bat by Mill Park, even though skipper Jackson Bellingham said that if he had have won the toss, he would have bowled as well. So both teams wanting to bowl first, probably because next week the forecast says it's going to be a very hot day, and so it would be better to bowl during a pleasant 16 degrees and bat during the hot day rather than the other way around. So because Mill Park won the toss and elected to field, it means that Diamond Creek batted, and they ended up batting through their entire 68 overs, so they have compulsory closure at 8 for 330. So let's go through the start. So during the early morning, from about 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock, there was a drizzle of rain which was consistent, which was interfering with the ground. It wasn't enough that it was causing great hassle, but it was, you know, making its impact onto the ground. The people who were walking past the ground, some of them had umbrellas, some of them didn't. It was that sort of weather, which was heavy but not too heavy, and so the moisture certainly was there. It certainly had its effect on the outfield. The field was dried by the time the lunch break happened, but during the first hour or so, you could notice that the ball was moving slower across the grass because the grass had absorbed that water from that morning rain. And so it wasn't until the sun had come out, it wasn't until the day had gotten older, that we actually saw the ground quicken up and scoring became a lot easier in the second half of the day than in the first half. Now, that's not to mention the new ball. Some very good disciplined new bowling from Mill Park was also a contributing factor. So when you take all those factors into consideration, the fact that Mill Park got off to a really good start. They bowled first, they said they would bowl, and so they put up a really good performance. Two very good opening bowling performances from Guerra and Sacco. Guerra got the 2 wickets, and Sacco bowled very tidily. And then they brought on their 2 changes. Gerati bowled significantly, bowled clever, bowled really strong and good bowling. He knew what he was trying to do and he set out to do it. And then the left arm medium pace of Duran, who was deceptively slow. It seemed like the ball just never got to you, and he actually proved to be the wily danger, as he picked up 3 wickets. So Kearney was bowled Guerra for 1, Evans was bowled Duran for 4, Jones was caught and bowled Duran for 1, and Bellingham was caught off the bowling of Duran for 18. Diamond Creek were 4 for 40, and it did not look good for them, facing some very good opening bowlers and then first change bowlers to make scoring really difficult, and they really did not have much to go on. Then came the incredible partnership between Carr and Gleeson. Gleeson ended up on 125 not out. Carr scored 100. Those two came together for a 200-run partnership. Carr went out caught off the bowling of M. Harris for 100. And then there was a partnership between Wilson and Gleeson, where Wilson scored 47 before he was caught behind off the bowling of J. Harris. And then the tail end of Diamond Creek tried to slog, but it didn't come off, with J. Carr out for a duck off the bowling of B. Harris, caught. And then Jones was out for 2. caught and bowled off Guerra, and then Whedon did not score a run. And so the last half an hour of the Diamond Creek batting was not very successful. They were only scored at about 3 runs and over, and so the idea of scoring a 350 score didn't come about. Instead they got a 330 score, which is certainly nothing to sneeze at. It's still a very large total, even on Campbell Street. The fact is that it's only 68 overs, and Diamond Creek have some good bowlers, especially their openers, and so the question is, how would they be able to score this Mill Park? And that would be a real big question that they're going to have to be faced with, because 330 of 70 overs means that from ball 1 it's 4.5 runs per over, which is gigantic, which is a huge feat to face, which is just like a mountain to climb right from ball 1, so it's very difficult. Now, during the partnership of Carr and Gleeson, there was different phases to it. So first of all, there was a lot of steady, clever batsmanship of Carr and Gleeson holding their own, not giving the game away, trying to keep batting. And then when the loose balls, the really bad loose balls came, they were of course completely pounced on and dominating. It was an impressive display of stroke play. But then also runs started to get manufactured by them, where they would play a ball where they otherwise might have blocked it. They decided instead to pull it down to fine leg for 1. Or there was a ball that was short where they might have pushed it for 1. Instead they cut it through third man for 4. And so suddenly they were transforming the way their batting was going as they had more and more momentum behind them, until the point was reached where they were scoring at least a boundary and over, and everything was just going their way, and things were getting out of hand for Mill Park. And at the same time, Mill Park did not have a solution to this onslaught from Diamond Creek. They were unable to break the partnership, and it wasn't until Carr basically threw his wicket away that they were finally able to get back into the winning, into the wicket-taking column, into the wicket-taking form. And so then they were able to hold back Diamond Creek from that 350 score and sort of tug at the leash finally, after they had seen the end of that 200-run partnership. And so throughout the partnership, Mill Park tried certain bowlers, a couple of spinners, and then they went back to some of their pacemen, and throughout it they did not seem to have a clear strategy in mind, exactly how we are going to break this partnership, how we are going to get these wickets, how is things going to go our way. They kept seemed to almost be waiting for something to happen. The only fielder that was attacking was the slip in the gully, even though the ball had never gone to either of these fielders throughout the entire day. And it just seemed, and everyone else was in either in the covers saving 1, or they were pushed back to save the 2, or maybe even on the fence to save the 4. And so there was no point where, other than when they were attacking the tail-enders right at the very end, at no point did they bring in short fielders in front of the wicket, in front of square, to actually try to get a batsman caught through driving in the air. And that is demonstrative of the fact that Mill Park just didn't seem to know how to get these batsmen out, didn't seem to be trying to get them out, and was just hoping against hope that they would be able to outlast these 2 batsmen. And so in the end, Diamond Creek batters were able to get away with all that they did, because there was no sudden question where they might have accidentally lost their wicket through a bad shot or through an excellent piece of bowling. It just seemed to get out of the Mill Park captain's hands, and there was an hour of play where he just seemed to lose it. He didn't have control over the game anymore. Runs were going very fast, 6 runs and over, 7 runs and over, and it wasn't until finally Carr lost his wicket that finally the Mill Park captain finally remembered what to do, figured out some good strategies, brought back his other bowlers that he thought might work in this situation. And then the Diamond Creek run rate went down. And so Diamond Creek were batting at 5 runs and over, and then suddenly in the last 10 overs they were only scoring at 3 runs and over. So the Diamond Creek run rate was decreasing because there was a clear agenda of what Mill Park was trying to do in those last 10 overs. And so it's clear that if the Mill Park captain had thought of something like that a little bit earlier, then maybe there would be a target less than 330, but more towards the 290 range. But even that's a large total, which goes to the testimony to how good Diamond Creek have batted today. But nonetheless, a 290 target is a lot easier to chase than a 330 target. So we are now coming towards the end of our day's broadcast. It will be a week's time before we come back here to see what Mill Park can do in response. I am going to be very interested to see what they can do, because Mill Park also experienced a significant loss, and the question is, do they have the resources, do they have the willpower, do they have the manpower, do they have the man hours to actually come together next Saturday to launch a response that will put this target under consideration? Will they actually put a really good effort into making this a difficult score to defend for the Diamond Creek fielders and bowlers? That's the question, and we'll see the answer to that next week. But until then, well, it's time to sign off. So, I am Chukka Wilson, and you have been watching the Channel 8 24-hour sports network in association with our partners, Bizz 99.9 FM Substitute Radio. We are here at Campbell Street saying goodbye. You have just seen day 1 of the 2 days in the G4 Round 2 clash between Diamond Creek and Mill Park. Until next week, catch you next time.
On the terrace, by the flower bed, he weaves the purple berries, extending down into a gate. From the garden, he gives a sign and it begins. A crimson army floods the sky with feathers flailing. Step back and cover your wings and shuffle your body in circles. Downtown, the sweet serenade. Call out the Cardinal Brigade. The trembled whistle calls a messenger around the fields of thistle, overflowing on the ground. A quiet rustle, a dry leaf crackle along the grass, and from the bustle is heard the cracking of the glass. Shuffle your body in circles. Downtown, this sweet serenade. Call out the Cardinal Brigade, yeah.
before we wrap things up, we have an exclusive interview with the captain of the Diamond Creek team, Justen Bellingham, as he talks about the day's play, about his hopes for his team, about the performance of that 200-run partnership between Gleeson and Carr, and his expectations of what will happen next week. So, without further ado, here is that exclusive interview that Channel 8 has with the Diamond Creek captain, Justen Bellingham. And now it's time for the post-day interview with the Diamond Creek G4 captain, Justen Bellingham, and we've got Jackson coming in right now. Now, Jackson, how do you feel, how would you sum up the day's play in terms of just an amazing turnaround, being 4 for 40 and then ending up on 330 for 8?
Yeah, it was a fantastic effort from the middle order boys there. Obviously it wasn't looking great to begin with, but they stuck at it, particularly Cal and Keenan. They really did a great job for us there. So I had faith that we could bet our overs. We showed the signs last week and they came through today, so really well deserved from those two. Obviously wrapped with the total in total.
How does a captain deal with coming back after such a significant loss, where you lost by 100 runs in a one-day game and the margin was so much that you were at the bottom of the ladder, and you're the captain of a side that has not been in this league before? You were in G3 last season, now you're in G4, so a brand new season, very bad start. How, as a captain, do you keep the faith and keep your troops in line?
Well, look, with a lot of what we spoke about after the game there, we actually focused on the fact that it was only one of their batsmen who made a majority of runs there, and the fact that we probably had 2 of the 3 best batters for the whole game there in Keenan and Ash there. So it was really important for us to make sure that we realised that we had some competitive players out there which couldn't put together as a side there. So we were really positive after the game there. We knew that Hurstbridge played really well last week, but at the end of the day there, we've got faith in our group and we've got some very capable batters as today showed.
The terrific 200-run partnership between Gleeson and Carr, it didn't just involve great hitting, although it did involve that. It also involved great stroke play, great batsmanship, stealing the ones where they were there, taking on the fielders, pinching singles. It was just an all-round display of every piece of great batsmanship that you would expect a great player, a great set of batsmen to do.
Look, exactly right there. With Keenan, he's shown a lot of capabilities at number 5. He made a match-winning 50 there last season, so it was really important for him just to get together and make sure he kicked on after the start there. Look, as for Cal, he's obviously been there and done that before there, so we had faith in him making the runs. Did need to drop him a bit down in the order there, and that was always going to be planned at the start of the day, so we're glad it came Cal through at number 6. Probably won't stay the whole year, but it was important for him just to get there going there for this season.
The Mill Park opening bowlers did a terrific job getting 4 for 40 after 20 overs, swinging the new ball, making it very difficult for you guys to score. Are you confident that the Diamond Creek opening bowlers will be able to imitate and do a really good performance first thing next Saturday?
When it comes to our bowls, we're a different sort of bowling group there. They're probably margin quicker than us in terms of speed there, so we're going to have to make sure we put it on a spot there next week there. It probably shows the importance at any ground, in particular here at Campbell Street, how important those first 20 overs are there, that even if you do get a good start there, that the still a batsman can come through later in the day there. So it's going to be up to us to make sure that not only the opening 20 overs are good, but the other 48 as well.
Captain of the Diamond Creek team, Justen Bellingham, thank you very much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Back to you in the studio.